CJ Flyer back with Fire, another YouTube video. Today we're starting a brand new series with a new edition of the LeBron era into the My NBA mode. We're going to be doing a sort of rebuild series, if you will, slash dynasty building. Instead of just being one video, though, like a lot of people do these days, this will be a fully fleshed out series. We're going to have multiple videos per season, going to play through some of the regular season games, and of course, if the team makes the playoffs, we'll go ahead and play through the playoffs as well. So starting out, I will be using some custom rosters to add any of the missing players from the 2010-2011 season. There's one in particular that's on the 2K share right now that I like, and I'll go ahead and share that in a little bit. Besides that, we are going to turn off some of these rules here for the CBA, just so that I'm able to trade players back to back on a single day instead of wait around. I will have the draft rules on for trading back-to-back draft picks. We don't want to make it too unrealistic, but just realistic enough to, where I can comfortably play without feeling like I'm fully restricted on making the moves that I want to make. So yeah, this recently signed trade restriction, we're going to leave that off. Restricted free agents, we'll go ahead and have that on. Trade finances on. And the waiver rules, we'll go ahead and have that on as well. So we are going to be turning off, actually we'll leave the dead cap on too. The only rule we're going to have off for now is this 30, 60, 90 day restriction. So let's go ahead and leave that. Morale and chemistry, I'm not a huge fan of it. We'll see how it goes. Right now we're just going to leave it on. Again, not a huge fan. Now, the draft storylines, I do want to go ahead and have that be on. So my understanding is that generated storylines could result in players that are known to become star players to be busts, and vice versa, players that were more known as role players to actually develop into superstar players, reach their max potential. Again, not entirely familiar with the setting. I'm a little bit new to it, so we'll see how this goes. This other option says enabling this option will create randomized storylines for the real prospects included in the historic draft classes. So, okay, so this one's for generated prospects, this one's for historic. Okay, so we want to have both of these on because we want to have storylines for both the fake players and the real players. All right, so we're going to have that on. Salary cap and hard cap on. This is not an online league, and then everything else we are going to leave off on automation for now. So let's go ahead and continue, and let's get that roster pulled up. So the roster I was referring to earlier, it's this Chevrolet 98 roster. I'm a huge fan of it. Seems to have a lot of the players that are missing, and not just players like Andrew Bynum or Al Jefferson, but also some of the lesser-known role players as well. We're going to make this an 82-game season. However, the way this is going to go is each season I'll play one game per month. So we'll start with the home opener in October, and then I'll handpick games from each of the seasons that I believe to be more, key games. Quarter length will have 12 minutes along with the simulation, and the reason I also want to keep it at 82 games is just to keep the stats realistic. If we're going to be playing multiple seasons of this, I want to be able to develop my star players and get them to the Hall of Fame if we're keeping them for multiple seasons. Everything else is going to be the same here, and if we go through to each of these, the automation, we're just going to leave all this be for now. Team chemistry on, like I said. Everything else, trade logic on. We're going to go right through, and we'll see how things turn out. Injuries we'll also leave on for now. If it gets a bit too ridiculous, we're going to go ahead and stop. Gameplay difficulty, I'm going to start out at Superstar. I am a 2K veteran. I've owned the game since 2K11, with the exception of 2K22. I took a year off. But yeah, I've been playing this game pretty regularly for the past decade, and just for now, we're going to start at Superstar just to kind of ease into things. If I feel ready to bump it up to Hall of Fame for this, I'll go ahead and do that. Over on the My Career series that I'll be starting soon, I will be doing Hall of Fame just for the sake of doing Hall of Fame. But for this, to me, I just want it to be more laid back. So we're going to be doing Superstar. Everything else here looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and get things started. And the team that I like playing with the most in NBA 2K11 was the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that's exactly the team that I'm going to be choosing here, trying to rewrite history and get them to multiple playoff appearances and hopefully multiple championships as well. So just to give an idea of who's on the roster at the moment, don't get too comfortable with any of these names, but big names, of course: Kevin Love, Michael Beasley, Wesley Johnson is a better known role player name. He's also known for getting crossed up by James Harden on a step back three, back when Harden was on the Rockets. We got Corey Brewer, who has had a 50-plus point game in his career, pretty exciting. Darko Milicic, a well-known bust. And Johnny Flynn, known as the guy that was drafted in front of Stephen Curry. So not a lot of good looks on the roster here, of course. And Michael Beasley, I would consider a bust as well. I mean, he had a fully fleshed out NBA career, but could have been better. He was projected to be more of a star player, if you will, or at least star potential. Now, of course, since 2K has the 2020 hindsight, players like Michael Beasley, their max potential, if you go into the edit player screen, he only has a max potential of a 82 overall. So right off the bat, we are going to be looking to trade some of these guys with that hindsight. However, moving forward, since we have randomly generated storylines for both the real historic players and the generated prospects for the upcoming drafts, we don't have to rely on that hindsight as much. But just for the opening season here, just to get things started, we already know players like Darko Milicic and Michael Beasley are not going to be doing us any favors. So we're going to take advantage of their value while it's still somewhat high and go ahead and get rid of them. So right off the bat, like I said, we're going to be getting ready to get rid of Darko Milicic because he has no need to be on this team. So let's go ahead and see what we can pull up in the trade finder. We're going to throw in Darko Milicic. And then also, I've been playing around with this a little bit on my own, just testing out the trade finder. So I saw something earlier for Darko Milicic and Ridenour. So let's go ahead and just kind of look at what we got here. We have this trade here for DeAndre Jordan and Baron Davis. Now, of course, Baron Davis, it's a pretty big contract, and he's getting up there in age. He's, on the decline instead of the incline, if you will. But DeAndre Jordan, we all know he's going to turn into an all-star player. So that potential's got to be pretty high. Keep going. We got OJ Mayo. We got Jamal Crawford trade. And then there's this trade for Andrew Bynum and Sasha Vujacic. Now, of course, we know Andrew Bynum. It's some people might look at this and be like, well, you're talking about getting rid of Darko because he's going to become a bust. And you're picking him up Andrew Bynum, who also was sort of a bust. That being said, he does at least have a little bit of a window where he's going to be decent, and it is only a 2-year contract. So it's one of those things where I look at it and, if we hold on to him for a year, develop him a little bit, and then try to flip him, next season, that could be something we do. If we look at through some of these other trades, not a whole lot that I'm too excited about. An aging Kenyon Martin up in his lower to mid-30s. Darren Collison would be pretty nice. We might look at getting him later on. But yeah, just some of these other trades, just not so appealing. Like Chuck Hayes and Jared Jeffries, not too interested in that. Radmanovich and Biedrins, McGee and Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas. Just, not a whole lot that's particularly exciting. I'd say the most exciting ones here is probably this Clippers trade, which is a 3-for-2. I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of good value out of that. So we will go ahead and we're going to take this Lakers trade here. So let's just go right in. We're going to go ahead, accept that trade. Next, like I said, I also wanted to get rid of Michael Beasley. Now, right off the bat, we got this beautiful looking trade here. We're getting Drew Holiday, but of course we also have to give up a first-round pick, which is not something I'm looking to do at the moment. By the way, with our first-round picks, because of certain trade restrictions, we're actually not able to trade the first 2 years of draft picks that we own. Unfortunately, a few of them were picked up via prior trades, and because of that restriction, we're just not able to pass them along to another team. At least I can't figure out a way without turning off those settings. So we're just going to roll with it for now. That's totally fine with me. And we'll take a look at those draft picks in a second here. But first, just again, going through some of the offers. Looks like, again, we have one here. The Clippers are just actively shopping DeAndre Jordan, it seems like, for just about anyone. Here's an interesting trade. Not only do we get Jamal Crawford, but we would get a 2011 first round pick, so a first round pick for this year. However, the Atlanta Hawks, they are considered a playoff team. Not really sure it's a good idea. They have Al Horford and Josh Smith, a pretty good core. So I think we're going to leave that be for now. If we keep going, though, we see here an offer for Lamar Odom. Again, he's on 30 years old, so he's already hit his peak. Probably on the decline a few years after this, so not exactly a best pickup. And we don't necessarily need to be in a win now scenario. This is more like building for the short-term future, if you will. The goal of this first season really is just to establish some kind of direction towards winning, even if it doesn't result in making the playoffs, although that is, that would be a nice touch. Now this trade right here, I am particularly fond of it. We get Darren Collison and we get a good role player in James Posey, and all we're giving up is Michael Beasley, who, to be honest, he's not going to really fit on this team because we have plenty of forwards and centers. And then, this Maurice, we don't need him. I don't know who he is, to be honest. I don't think we need to hold on to him, though. And yeah, just looking through some of these other trades, nothing particularly fond of. Why would I want a first-round pick from the San Antonio Spurs? Steve Nash, leading up to his retirement in a year or two, that's not really a good move. So yeah, and then of course we got 22-year-old Greg Oden over there. We got Nick Young. So I personally a fan of the trade that's going to get us Darren Collison. He also has the blow-by badge, so that's going to be very useful for having on this team. So let's go ahead and accept this trade here. So just to show you that I'm not able to trade these picks, as you can see, pick cannot be traded because it was involved in a previous trade, and that includes, those are the two picks we own for 2011. They're both lottery protected picks from the Utah Jazz and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the Jazz and the Grizzlies are, likely going to be playoff teams, so we probably won't, see these picks be held back from us this year. It's probably going to be a couple of picks in the late, 20s or early 20s, somewhere in that range. We'll see what they actually convey into. It'll be pretty interesting if one of these teams falls out and then the pick conveys to the following year. And then, of course, we have the 2012 first-round pick, and then from there we pretty much own everything, all the first-round picks for the following seasons. So we're not going to be trading a whole lot of draft picks in this creation video, just because, as you can see, we're not able to, trade, can't trade consecutive picks, and we can't get these two picks here. So it is what it is. Like I said, working with what we got. Now, the next trade we'll be working on, it's interesting because back in 2K11, Nikola Pekovic I think he was like an 80 overall, and he had the potential to get higher. But of course, with the hindsight being 2020, he's not really in that position where he's going to increase in overall a whole lot. So I'm looking to get rid of him. Same with Wesley Johnson, who is a created player by the guy who made this roster and looks nothing like Wesley Johnson. So, for that reason alone, I kind of just want to get him off the roster. So just looking at what we have here, scrolling through, we could go for a Kwame Brown trade. But the one that I really liked is this one right here with the Clippers, getting none other than DeAndre Jordan. And like I said, we know he's got the potential to turn into a star player later, so why not pick him up? Meanwhile, on the flip side, we know Nikola Pekovic isn't going to turn into anything too good. And Wesley Johnson, even though he's showing up as a 2.5 star, also, not a high potential. So there's our third trade of the video. Next, even though we just got Randy Foye, we are going to be looking to flip him and get some players in return. So we're going to be dumping off Randy Foye, Martell Webster, who I actually like, but again, I believe this is an auto-created, not auto-created, but yeah, it's a player that was created for the sake of this roster that 2K did not have on their official roster because they don't have the rights. So we'll put him in there, and then I know I just said I like James Posey, but this trade that I found on the Trade Finder, gotta dump off James Posey for him. So let's just go over there, show you what this trade is, and it is to get Jamal Crawford and Jeff Teague. And then there's also that second round pick there, but we're actually gonna see if we can remove that pick and still get this trade to go. It looks like they are not having it. Zaza Pachulia and Anthony Tolliver. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan. Let's see. Let's try again. I forget which pick they were trying to add, if it was the 2012 second round, or let's see if we can add a later pick that we might not care for. No, they are very insistent on getting one of those picks. Let's try this trade here. No, they're not having it at all. Let's go back to the trade finder. Sometimes the logic is a little bit iffy, where even if you put in a trade that was previously found in the trade finder, it's still not going through. And that's been a legacy issue for like the past 10 years with 2K. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. I'm not going to try to do the mental gymnastics to figure it out. But we're going to go back in here again. We're going to go over to the Hawks, and we're going to go ahead and accept this trade. Next, we're going to go ahead and flip Jeff Teague because we already have Darren Collison. Again, I'm just kind of moving pieces around. If I see one guy in a trade that I like, we'll go ahead and do the trade. And then if I got to, flip a guy later, I'll go ahead and do that. So that's exactly what we're doing because Jeff Teague, even though he does become an all-star later in his career, just from playing the previous 2Ks, we know his overall never gets very high. And I'm not a fan of playing with Jeff Teague in 2K, to be honest. I'd rather be playing with Darren Collison as my point guard. That's just a personal preference. And then, of course, Wayne Ellington, who is also a manually created player. Unfortunately, he was a beast in previous 2Ks from the three-pointer. Him being, created manually, I'm not sure that's still the case. And something I noticed with some of these created players, some will get the badges, effort was put into giving Bynum some badges, but you would think that a guy like Wayne Ellington would at least have one of the 3-point badges. And I know I can go ahead and manually edit that, but I'm just not willing to do that for every player on the roster. So we're going to go ahead and trade him away. And let's see what comes up in the trade finder here. There was a trade that I saw earlier. It was not this trade. It's actually, if we go into here, let's get rid of CJ Watson. Let's put in Kyle Korver. This is what I was looking for. I want to have Kyle Korver on the bench. He's a 3-point assassin. He's in the league for a while. In fact, I believe, he's 29 years old here. And like I said, he's a 3-point assassin. Look at this. In his most recent season with the Utah Jazz, 53% from 3. And if we go ahead and look at his attributes, he's got an 85 3-point shot. Go to his badges, he's got gold blinders, gold catch and shoot, corner specialist, limitless range. And having anyone with a limitless range at this point in the NBA season era, like in 2011, anyone that's got limitless range in 2011, I mean, that's pretty beneficial. So we're going to go ahead. I don't need Jeff Teague. And, of course, Taj Gibson, a good defensive player to have on your team. If we look at some of his badges here, he's got workhorse, he's got box out beast, he's got brick wall. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have any other badges. But, yeah, let's go ahead and make that trade. And, of course, it looks like the Bulls have changed their mind. They are not interested in getting rid of Kyle Korver any longer. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go back into the trade finder. I'm going to see if I can find something else to get Kyle Korver. If we can get Taj Gibson, that'd be great, but I'm more concerned about getting Korver on this team. So let's go in here to the Chicago Bulls and see what they're willing to offer for Kyle Korver. So it looks like Corey Brewer and Wayne Ellington, Darren Collison. What I might need to do is set some of these guys. See, there's the trade. There's the trade I was looking for earlier. I don't know why it wasn't getting accepted. Again, the mental gymnastics of the trade finder versus the proposing the trade and why the two are not synonymous, I don't know. But let's go ahead and accept this trade. All right, another player I talked about getting rid of because we know his potential is low is none other than Johnny Flynn, who is another user-created player. And just going through the trade finder here, there's not a lot of good options, of course, because Johnny Flynn, if this was back in 2K11, Johnny Flynn would have probably like a 3 or 4 star potential at least because he was a young prospect that had the potential of becoming a star player. But of course, knowing that he's not going to be that anymore, and I'm sure the user that created this player probably set his overall pretty low. There's not a lot of good players to get out here. We could get a Eddie House, in his 30s. We could get Luther Head. Not too interested in that. We could get Ronnie Turioff, but at this point we already have Andrew Bynum and DeAndre Jordan, so we don't really need any more bigs. And Kevin Love on top of that. Luke Walton, not really interested. Now this would be interesting. Getting Deshaun Stevenson. He's got 1 year left on his deal. And we all know that during that 2011 Dallas Mavericks championship run, he was obviously a contributor to that team. So that is something that we could consider looking at some of these other options. Again, another center, and I like Brad Miller, but he's just not going to fit with this team and what we need. Luke Babbitt looks like he's a user-created player. Yeah, just not a lot of good options. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go for Deshaun Stevenson. That'll be great either as a bench option or starting at the 3. Not really sure yet, but we'll go ahead and get this trade to go. Looking at the roster right now, if we go by position, again, we have 2 point guards here. We got Darren Collison, Sebastian Telfair. We have some options for the shooting guard and small forward. And then off the big men here, we have Kevin Love and Taj Gibson. And then for center, we're a bit clogged up. I have no need for Costa Koufos. So, of course, we're going to be looking to trade him. Anthony Tolliver, I still like to have him around because he can slide up to the 3, although he is a bit on the slower side. And he can hit some 3-pointers. It's always nice to have a big that can shoot 3s. Lazar Hayward, we don't really have a need for him. He's more just to fill out the roster. If there's better options, we can go ahead and look for them. And then everyone else in this roster, I'm feeling pretty good. A lot of these guys, we were going for players with 1 year left on their deals, so that going into the next season, we can start over fresh with some of the guys that we have. Now, something I did notice, and I'm not sure if this is a glitch or not, but players like DeAndre Jordan here, it says they have 0 bird years. That shouldn't be right because, he's already 2 years pro, so I would think he should have more bird years. Again, maybe I'm misunderstanding the rules, but I could have sworn that your bird years start adding up right after you're drafted. So it'll be interesting to see if the upcoming free agency, if it gets a little wild because of some mistakes on 2K's part. But let's go ahead. Let's do one last trade here. We're going to get rid of Koufos and see what we got coming up on the trade finder. We have Keon Dooling and Earl Boykins. That's not going to help us out a whole lot. We could get Wayne Ellington back on the team, but with no badges, I'm not really too interested. Sam Young, Luther Head, Andy Rottens and a 2nd-round pick. We got Luke Walton. Yeah, there's just not a lot of good options. An aging Ben Wallace. I guess that could be good for the veteran leadership. Actually, I wonder what badges that Ben Wallace has on him. If we go in here, that might be good for the badge progression, actually. Yeah, this might actually, this might be a good option. Because if we're able to use that badge progression system to our advantage, we could possibly get either Bynum or DeAndre Jordan's badges to bump up. We might actually go with this. And, okay, we might just switch out Chris Wilcox for someone else. So let's go in here. Let's see if we can put a different player in Wilcox's place. Because we don't really need a 4th center. Jonas Jerebko, that might not be a bad one. Let's see, Austin Day wouldn't be bad as a bench player. That's probably not going to get any playing time. I'm guessing at this point, like we can't get someone like Ben Gordon. That's just too high of a rating. Same with Tracy McGrady. I mean, we could try, but I seriously doubt that the Pistons would bite on this. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have to throw in someone else here. Maybe we just have to settle with Chris Wilcox, and then we can try to trade Chris Wilcox for someone else. Let's see if, of course not. Of course, they just want to flip around picks. Now, Houston, I don't think Houston is that good of a team right now. I'd rather have Houston's 2nd-round pick. I'm okay with this. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the trade. So now let's go ahead, see if we can find something in the trade finder for Chris Wilcox, because we really don't need him. Although he is already got a little bump in his ratings there. And I hope that Ben Wallace is okay with taking a back seat, because he is not going to be getting a lot of playing time. So hopefully he's okay with that. To be honest, I really don't see where he's going to fit in the rotation. But we'll play around with that in a second. All right, let's see what's available for Chris Wilcox. Earl Boykins, Joey Graham, a draft pick. Draft pick might not be bad. Darnell Jackson. It's just a lot of centers. We don't need centers, and we don't need Earl Boykins. Let's try one more time, see if different trades come up. Nah, there's nothing different. Now, Earl Boykins, does he also have a lot of badges? Because that could also be useful. He just has relay passer. Provides a boost to shooters that take a shot off a pass to an assist. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that one. Does Joey Graham, he might be a user-created player. And then there's really no other options. We don't want Cole Aldrich, and that's a user-created player too. Okay. Wow, this is sad. Man, Sebastian Telfair doesn't have any badges. And that's a 2K player. That's not a user-created player. At least I don't think so. I'm surprised Telfair doesn't have any badges. Wow, that's wild. Okay. Yeah, just looking at everything else we got here, Jamal Crawford can help out with some of those playmaking and scoring badges, so that's fine. And probably same, yeah, Darren Collison has some badges too, so we're all good there. We don't need a whole lot of veteran players. Yeah, if we're stuck with... Well, I want to get rid of Chris Wilcox because he's got 2 years on his contract, so maybe we just take Earl Boykins to take Earl Boykins. Oh, but also we could get a free draft pick. I don't think it's going to be worth much, but let's just go ahead and do it. This trade would put the Timberwolves under the minimum. The team can do this trade using the active exception. Okay, yeah, we'll make this trade, and then we'll go ahead and we'll look at the available free agents and see if we can pick someone up. Oh, Ricky Rubio. Oh, why does he have 0 badges? Oh, that's weird. That is really weird. But yeah, can we take him? We can't afford him. Why does he want so much money? His overall is only a 74. I mean, his potential must be high, but it shouldn't be that high. Well, that's weird. Okay, well, we can't get we can't get Ricky Rubio, I should say. Anyone else available? I don't recognize any of these other names. Eddie Jones. Yeah, I was going to say, he's got to be getting pretty old. None of these guys have badges. Oh, 11 badges. Who's this? Eric Dampier. Okay, yeah, I recognize that name. Oh yeah, we could, but it's another center. We really don't need backup centers. Hold on, let's look at our positions real quick. So we have 2 point guards, 4 shooting guards. And to be honest, I don't really want to play Telfair a whole lot, especially since he has no badges. Maybe, I mean, Jamal Crawford would likely slide into the backup point guard position, even though that's not shown as a secondary position. He can definitely play point guard. He can handle the ball. And we have enough guys to fill in at shooting guard and small forward. We either need another point guard or we need a small forward, because a lot of the guys that are going to slide into small forward are probably not fit for the role. So let's go ahead. Again, this is just kind of this first season is just a feel it out kind of season. See how we do with things. So like I said, I'll be doing one regular season game a month, and then I will be playing all of the playoff games. All right, yeah, there's not a lot of good options. Is this Anthony Randolph? No, Alan Randolph, whoever the heck that is. All right, looks like anyone that's not a two-way player is a real NBA player. We got Rasheed Wallace at 36, no badges. We have, Danny Green. We could swing Danny Green probably. Hold on, catch and shoot, workhorse. Yeah, I mean, and his potential should go up, right? Hold on, can we sign him? Yeah, we should be able to sign him. Let's see if we can do like a team option. Heck, we could. Do we want to sign him to multiple years for cheap? Would it be worth it? Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? He should take that, right? He's declined the offer. Wow. Okay. Let's see if he'll take 1 season. He's declined the offer. All right. Well, I guess Danny Green really doesn't want to play. He's really stingy about that extra $1 million. To each their own. Oh my gosh, Ime Itoku. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Latrell who else do we have? I'm starting to recognize some names. So, not any of these two-way players, though. We're really slipping down the leaderboard here. And really, we really just, it would be most helpful, like, okay, Jamal Mashburn, but no badges. Finn Baker, no badges. It's just like, it would really be helpful if we just had someone with badges. Now we're getting into some really low territory here. But again, like, it's also got to be someone that's willing to take a minimum contract. Penny Hardaway, 0 badges. Larry Hughes at 31 years old. Man, that's not a good look. And we got some Hall of Famers over here, all with 0 badges, so it's not very helpful. Chris Webber in the house. Stephon Marbury. All right, I haven't really been looking closely at the badge count. Surely there's got to be some guys towards the top that will be willing to sign for cheap that, yeah, see, hold on. There is someone with like 12 badges down here. Oh, 17. I read that wrong. Antonio Daniels. All right, he is a shooting guard / point guard, and I mean most of his badges are silver, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta do with what you got. Who did he play for? I don't even recognize him. Played for Washington. Played for the Seattle Supersonics. Played for he quite the career. Never really averaged. Oh, he did average more than 10 points. Huh. All right. Well, he seems worth the take. What's his speed? That's most important, right? The physical stats. Can he keep up with everyone else? Yeah, speed with ball, 73. You know what? Why not? Let's just take him. Minimum deal. Sounds good to me. He's happily accepted the offer. Perfect. Sorry, Danny Green. You had your chance. All right, so this is what we're working with. Again, I really hope Ben Wallace isn't too upset. He's about to not get a whole lot of playing time here unless someone gets injured. So let's go into the rotation and let's just have the CPU rebuild. It looks like the CPU has set Deshaun Stevenson as the starting small forward. I guess that's okay because our other options, oh gosh, yeah, no, we cannot be having this. I'm sorry, Ben Wallace, you're just, I don't see you getting any playing time. I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna put DeAndre Jordan at power forward? I mean, what is this, like 1995 or something? Like, I mean, we gotta start to embrace the change in the way that we play the game. We gotta shoot some threes, you know. So we gotta do like 4 out with 1 guy at center, and good thing we have Kevin Love for that. You know, they gotta split it even, and I guess for like half a quarter we could put both of these guys out here at the same time. It's just not gonna flow very well. We might end up trading one of these guys midway through the season. Maybe Bynum was a mistake. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong about Bynum. Let's just see what's out there. Let's just see. He doesn't have that good of value. Oh my goodness, Kwame Brown. Ooh, Peja Stojakovic. That's that's a playoff piece right there, but we have to give up a draft pick. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this trade. Not a fan. If Terrence Williams wasn't a user-created player, because I bet he does not have any. Oh, yeah, he does have the posterizer badge. That's nice. He should have a high dunk rating too. Yeah, driving dunk of 90. Ooh, that's pretty exciting. But that's kind of a downgrade, if you will. I don't feel like you're getting a lot of value. Jose Calderon? No. This one's an okay deal, but I'm not. I mean, it makes more sense for the fit of the team, but as far as like value, I mean, I would think Bynum's got to go up in overall at least a little bit, right? I mean, I'm not sure. What is his potential rating here? It's an A. I mean, his potential's an A, although position average is 84 and he's below average. Uh-oh. Yeah, maybe we got to get rid of, like, it would be stupid, obviously, like in real life in 2011. I don't think this makes a whole lot of sense, but for us it might make sense. Yeah, we got another 3-point shooter. We got Hidu Turkoglu, who's I mean, this honestly, we get a lot of stretch players. I'd rather have Hidu Turkoglu than Anthony Tolliver. This kind of in a way makes more sense. I'm probably, just like I always feel, I feel like I'm always going to get flamed in the comments for some of these, which is fine. Like, y'all can roast me all you want, say you would have done this or that. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, Bynum is just not the right fit when you already have DeAndre Jordan. And I mean, Ben Wallace is only going to be around for like a year or two, which is fine. I don't think Bynum's going to develop into much of anything. Let's do it. Screw it. Why not? We did it. We did it. We've done it. This is our team. Kevin Love, Darren Collison, Jamal Crawford, DeAndre Jordan. We got some Clippers on this team. I just realized. That's nice. Yeah, Ben Wallace is a 2-year contract, so even if he falls off a little bit, he is our backup center. We will see how that plays out. Worst case scenario, I mean, Kevin Love can always slip down to the 5, and we've got guys that can fill in at the 4. I'm cool with this. I think this is going to be fun. More fun than having Bynum on the team. Let's go ahead and rebuild the rotation. Yeah, this is looking much better. I'd much rather have Jared Dudley starting than having Deshaun Stevenson start. To me, Deshaun Stevenson is more of an off the bench type of player, if you will. Yeah, I think this fits better, and then we can always put in either Jamal Crawford or I guess Vujacic could be the point guard. I'm not really a fan of that, but yeah, this all just makes a whole lot more sense. Yeah, I think this is what we're gonna go for. And then as far as the small forward situation, yeah, I think this works, and we'll see what happens. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead, save that. All right, so that's our team. We're starting off with Kevin Love as our best player still. I wanted to keep him as the franchise centerpiece. We got Darren Collison and Jamal Crawford as the 2 guards in the backcourt. And then, of course, DeAndre Jordan, who we are going to attempt to develop into, quite the star player. Right now, he's got the gold badges already for, some of what we want. But let's go ahead and let's set up the training, player development, the player mentorship. That's what I was looking for. We're going to go ahead and set up mentorship for DeAndre Jordan. And then I think that's how this works, right? So now am I selecting the mentor? Is that right? Okay, yeah, I think that's what's going on. So we need to go over to Ben Wallace and take advantage of his abilities while he's still here. So DeAndre Jordan's badges. I wish they would show you what badges. Oh, yeah, it does show what badges he already has. Okay, that's cool. And, okay, it looks like we could get Workhorse up if we wanted. We could get Pogo Stick, Post Lockdown. I mean, there's just some of these. We could really increase DeAndre Jordan's abilities. Rebound Chaser. Now, that sounds pretty good to me. What does that actually entail? Because I am not an expert at this. Improves a player's ability to track down rebounds from farther distances than normal. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. And Box Out Beast. He doesn't have Box Out Beast. Isn't that an important badge? Improves a player's ability to box out and fight for good rebounding position. I mean, can I do... Oh, I can do both of these. Oh, sweet. Thank goodness. Yeah, because we need that. Post Lockdown, that would be ideal. What else do we have here? Interceptor, Chase Down Artist. What is Rise Up? I'm not familiar with that one. Let's scroll down here to the R's. Rise Up. Increase the likelihood of dunking or posterizing your opponent when standing in the painted area. It's going to take him the whole year to get there. I'm not feeling so good about that one. Post Lockdown. I imagine that seems self-explanatory, but let's just see what it says. Strengthens a player's ability to effectively defend moves in the post. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, Pogo Stick too. What does that mean? Is that a defensive badge? Pogo Stick. It's not here. Oh, it's probably athletic. No. Oh, that's weird. What's Pogo Stick? Oh, allows a player to quickly recover and go back up for another jump upon landing. Oh, yeah, actually, let's go with that. All right, perfect. So we're going to get 3 more badges on DeAndre Jordan. That's a good look. So we're going to go ahead and set that. And then let's see who else. Jamal Crawford should definitely be mentoring someone. Who's another player we want to develop? Well, we for sure want to continue to develop Kevin Love. He's going to be on this team for a while. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, that would be pretty funny. Well, That's not going to help at all. Vujicic is not going to help develop much of anything. It would be pretty funny if we got some guard badges on Kevin Love. It looks like that's actually not the case. You're not able to do that. So let's see. Oh, that's weird. Why is it showing like it's like 0 progression for any of the badges? Is there not a single badge that we can get up to bronze? I mean, someone tell me in the comments if any of y'all know. I don't know why the progression of the badge is so slow. It's not even like up a level after the entire season. I mean, we can go ahead and set it. I can't have Ben Wallace. Can I have Ben Wallace mentor multiple players? I don't think that's a thing. If that's a thing, that would be pretty cool because I would definitely get post lockdown. What is this immovable enforcer? That sounds pretty cool. I know they put in a lot of new badges here. Some of these I'm just not familiar with at all. Improves the defensive player's strength when defending. Okay. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Is there any other player I can like get mentorship from that? Okay, Antonio Daniels can help. That would be nice. Just someone, A lot of these don't look like... Oh, that would be funny. We get blow by on Kevin Love. What else is there? Space creator. Just a lot of things you wouldn't really expect. Big driver. What is that? Big driver. Increases the chance of blow by when attacking off the dribble in either the mid-range or painted area. Oh, okay. Honestly, what other options? Oh, Hidu Turkoglu. Oh, I think this will be much better. Oh, Dimer. I'm pretty sure Kevin Love has decent passing rating, right? Open looks. What is open looks? I'm assuming that just means, yeah, improves the ability to hit open jump shots. Pretty self-explanatory there. What is whistle? Man, there's just so many that I don't know. I'm just going to scroll all the way down here because I don't know what category that would even fall in. Probably something about drawing fouls, I'm sure. Increases the chance of drawing a foul. Yep, there you go. Fearless finisher. Yeah, so for sure, Agent 3 and open looks. And then I'm not sure if we're going to go with the whistle or go with the dimer. Like, I want Kevin Love to have, he's known for that passing ability. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't already have dimer. I mean, what is dimer that is improving when in the half court. Oh, maybe that's why, because it's half court passing, not full court passing. Passes by dimers to open shooters yield a increase in the shot percentage. I'm going to go with dimer. Let's do it. And then, is there any other player that we really care to develop? DeAndre Jordan and Kevin Love are kind of our guys. Maybe Collison. Let's, just for the sake of doing it, let's go ahead and let's mentor Darren Collison if we're able to give him anything. Yeah, it's just like some of these, it looks like there's like no progression for the badges. I really don't understand what makes someone's progression better. Okay, so Jamal Crawford can help. That's nice. And he's got a lot of different options. Wow. Okay. So Acrobat, that would be useful. Fearless Finisher's not even going to get up to a bronze, so we can just forget about that. Slithery, that should be useful, right? I forget what that does. I think that's just about like getting around defenders, going for layups. Increases ability to slide through traffic. Yeah, we really need that. So we'll get that up to a bronze. What else do we have here? Spin cycle, two-step. Oh, two-step would be useful. That should be Euro steps. I'm not gonna look these up anymore. It's taking up too much time. Ankle breaker, of course. Handles for days. Man, there's just so many that would be really useful to have, actually. I don't know which are better than others. I'm sure playstyle plays into it. So because Darren Collison already has the blow by, I want to make sure he's got some other ways to get around defenders and get to the basket. So we'll for sure do the slithery badge, and we'll do the ankle breaker badge. And then one more that can get up, maybe two-step. Spin cycle, it is what it is. Killer combos, maybe, or unpluckable. Those would also be pretty useful. Let's go ahead and, man, I'm hesitating. We'll do the killer combos. Let's just do it. Let's give Darren Collison some really crazy handles, and that's it. That's our mentorship program. I don't know if you can mentor multiple players as one guy, but yeah, that's gonna be it for the mentorship. All right, other things we need to set. We need to go through and possibly make some coaching changes here. So let's see who the head coach is right now. Kurt Rambis with a disgraceful rating. Oh my goodness. Man, he's pretty awful. And I think you can get boosts. Yeah, there's badges. Yeah, so we should get a different head coach. Let's see what candidates are out there. Oh, Donnie Nelson from the Mavericks. That would be a really good option. Just real quick, I don't know what the badges actually mean, but I just want to look through. It looks like, I mean, isn't there boosts? Do these not give boosts? Gets more out of less intense practice, helps team fatigue. Oh, it looks like some of these are not good. Short leash shows little patience for young players. Uh-oh. That could be seen as a bad thing. I don't know what these actually do. I wish they'd tell you like 5% increase in shooting ability or something. Like none of this means anything. Like, does this mean their attributes will progress more? Okay, all I know is we do not want to keep Kurt Rambis. Oh my gosh. And then there's this guy. For anyone that doesn't know, I mean, this is the guy that creates the official 2K rosters, and this kind of breaks the immersion for me, having him as like the best available coach. That being said, I mean, of course he's got the better badges. What a surprise. I mean, we might have to do it. We might have to go ahead and take him. And then we have, is that JB Bickerstaff as the assistant head coach? That's pretty awesome. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can even sign this guy. It looks like I have to fire Kurt Rambis first. And the budget we have available is we have plenty of budget. Yeah, we want to fire Kurt Rambis. Get out of here. Oh yeah, this is perfect. All right, we'll go ahead and make the offer. All right, we have Mike here as the head coach, and then we can also get a shooting coach. I don't know that the rest of this is necessary. I don't know if like adding the additional badges really does anything. I think we're better off like getting some scouts maybe, since the scouting will be randomized, or I guess I should say the prospects will be randomized. So let's go ahead. I wish there's a way to filter this by scouts that had badges or something. I don't know what what does this plane mean? What's the plane? Highly knowledgeable and effective when scouting overseas. Well, I would certainly hope so if you're a foreign scout. Okay. And again, I don't know what does all this other stuff mean. Able to report back quickly. Very adept at identifying sleepers. Okay, so we want the paw print. The paw print's good. Ability to scout additional prospects. Okay, what's the world? Effective when scouting North American. Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. It just takes too much time. All right. So this guy would be pretty good. This Stan Payton, it seems like, would be a pretty solid option. So let's see. Oh yeah, and they're so cheap. Yeah, let's go ahead, offer him a position as one of our foreign scouts. And then okay, I know I said I wasn't going to look at these anymore, but what's this mean? Lazy. Oh no, no. Yeah, we're not hiring you. Okay, this is for the foreign scout position. Just wanted to make sure before I made any commitments. Okay, what's this guy rated? Yeah, he's okay. Better than nothing. I'd rather him not be the lazy guy, you know. All right, North America. Why is he labeled as a foreign scout then? That kind of surprises me. You know what? Ooh, what's this? No, we don't want anyone that's lazy. No laziness. No laziness allowed. Okay, we'll just take this guy. Hire him. He's accepted the offer. Let's get some domestic scouts in here now. All right, scroll down. Let's see what kind of badges they have. All right, we'll take this guy. We'll take one more scout. All right, I forget what this lock symbol means, but I remember it was good, so we'll just take him too. And then let's see. Okay, trainer. So how good is the doctor? That's the real question. We need to make sure that if anyone gets injured. All right, 73. Is that good? Is that bad? I mean, I guess let's see. Is there there's not any specific to injury. We just need team doctors. So let's go ahead and sort. Get down to the team doctors here. And then let's just see what their abilities are. I mean, is this good? I don't know. I wish there'd be more upfront about what's good, what's bad. Okay, so this is decreasing in value. So this is the best option is this guy here, Otis Craig. And he's barely above at a 77. Meanwhile, our guy here, yeah, he seems all right enough. He's not the best, but he's not the worst. Let's just go ahead. Let's get a sleep doctor in here. That sounds pretty good, right? I mean, able to recover faster. That's my assumption. So, do they need like a badge? Does a sleep doctor need a badge? What's the sleep? Yeah, there is a sleep option. And I'm not seeing the badge. Oh, there we go. He's a team doctor, so I don't know if he'd take the offer. Whatever, I'm probably overthinking all of this now. I don't think we need anything else. This is probably good enough. Maybe we'll take a shot doctor and call it a day. Because they got to have some good badges, right? Increase the shooting ability or something. You'd have to imagine anyways. Yeah, I don't know, this looks pretty good to me. And it's pretty cheap. So we'll take him. Maybe we'll take the post-defensive coach too. Really help develop DeAndre Jordan. All right, we'll go ahead and sign this guy. He seems cheap. We'll take him. All right, that's it. That's it for the coaching. We're done. We're done wasting time on that. System proficiency. So pace and space. I don't think we're fit for that right now. We're not at that point. Balanced seems like the better option for our starting lineup. Ooh, 7 seconds. That's interesting. Pace and space is Honestly, I think perimeter centric wouldn't be too bad because even though DeAndre Jordan's not going to be shooting any threes, he can just be the guy that sets a lot of picks. Honestly, I'm thinking either perimeter centric or I'm thinking the balanced. But for now, we're going to set our play style as... Yeah, we'll stick with perimeter centric for now. We're going to be ahead of our time because a lot of teams in this era, they were not going with the perimeter centric offense. So we're going to be taking the lead on that. It's not going to be the Warriors or the Rockets. Sorry, Daryl Morey, but we took the time machine and we're going to be the first ones to go ahead and do that. Okay, last thing I did was I created a draft board just for the time being. We'll see if I adjust this later based on those auto-generated storylines, but just a list of players outside of any centers. Chose not to focus on those because we already have DeAndre Jordan, Kevin Love as our front court of the future, as you will. So I just looked to add some forwards and guards that we know are going to be good or at least decent. Names that look familiar coming up in the 2011 draft that we might look to either trade for or draft if they fall into our lap. Obviously, some of these guys are probably going to go a lot sooner than others, and we probably have no chance at Kyrie or Kawhi. But you never know with some of these other names, and again, with the auto-generated storylines, I don't know how that affects potential or overall moving forward, but, I mean, people used to think Chandler Parsons could be a really good player if you played LeBron's Path to Greatness mode in NBA 2K14. He turned into a superstar, so, yeah, just something to keep in mind. For the playbook for right now, we are just going to roll with whatever playbook is the default and just see what happens. And for everything else going into this first game, player minutes and substitution, everything, we're going to set it to auto. We're just going to see how it goes. Same with the offensive play calling. I'm just going to kind of let the CPU do its thing, kind of feel out the playbook that we have and see what happens. And with that, that's the end of this video. Next video will be the first game home opener against the Kings. So easing our way into the season and feeling out our team. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And again, any suggestions on any of these settings, please feel free to give me some suggestions, and see you on the next video.